Hey Restorers, it is a mashup of the Dojo podcast and the Restoration Today podcast, and we are talking about SOCKTember, which I am affectionately calling the Restoration Restoring Kindness. Oh my goodness, Restoring Kindness 2.0. The second round of it for 2023. We are teaming up with SOCKTember this year. If you haven't heard about it, I'm going to have John Isaacson, the founder of SOCKTember, talk a little bit more about it. And we are joined by Lisa from Onside Restoration, because Onside Restoration owned it last year and won. And they have many branches across Canada doing this together. So they are one to be beat if anybody can beat them, although they really have their stuff together. So it's going to be a tough company to beat. So John, I'm going to toss it over to you first to share the background of SOCKTember, and we'll kind of go from there.
Perfect. Well, thank you for publishing the article, the kickoff article this year. You've been with us. CNR has been with us from the beginning. It did start as a very simple idea. I think there's 4 or 5 of us that in Washington in 2020 that got together. People remember what was happening in 2020. I won't say it because that still gets bleeped out.
Nope.
But we just wanted a simple way that we could do some team building, reach out to clients, bring our vendors together and do a little bit of good. We thought if everybody, when they go to Costco or go to Walmart, grabbed an extra pack of socks, threw it in the cart, then at the end of the month, would have, a significant amount of socks to donate to local organizations. And it blew our minds. We raised over 5,500 pairs of socks that first year. And now, because we're greedy for socks, we're greedy for doing good. Our goal is over 100,000 pairs of socks. In 2021, we almost got there with 66,000. And as you mentioned, we added this competitive component. It really took off in Washington, then it expanded. Onside Restoration came in full force. So we have the international component, we have the state-to-state component, and then the individual team component. And so it's been a lot of fun. It is at its core just a simple idea. Let's just get some stocks and donate them to worthy causes. And then if you're like Onside Restoration, then you just kind of really kick butt from the get-go.
But from the get-go. Okay. So Lisa, talk about Onside's involvement in this. How long have you been involved? What kind of prompted you to get involved? And then the step from going from just like one branch or one location being involved to this being like a countrywide all branch movement.
Sure. Well, it was sort of the inception of that COVID word that John didn't want to say. And, our business changed. Well, we didn't change. We were constantly at work, but our employees, the admin staff, the accounting staff, that sort of thing, were not coming to the office, but our field staff was. And we needed something to sort of pull people together a little bit and still have that feel. And we're branches, so all one ownership, but branches across Canada. And so what we did is when the SOCKTember initiative came out, we loved the giving back component piece of it, plus the competitive nature of it. So we rolled it out across Canada as a social committee type initiative, which the SOCKTember was also sort of integral in starting our National Social Committee initiative so that we could have something socially amongst all of our staff. And they seem to really like the awards, getting the trophies and wanting that. So, and all of our branches are different sizes. So it didn't matter if you had 100 and something employees versus 20 something employees. They all really stepped up the game and they enjoyed it and had fun with it.
So either of you talk a little bit about how the teams are, it's not just the employees that are bringing in stocks. You can really get the community involved in this and make it a community push. So talk a little bit about, Lisa, maybe give us some ideas of ways that some of your branches got the community involved and not just their teams.
So one of the things that also happened at the same time was earlier in the year, one of our, we were called out to do a restoration of a client, Boyle Street Community Services in Edmonton, and they serve the homeless community of Edmonton, as well as they have many other programs. But because of COVID, they weren't able to collect clothing donations, which were much needed for the people that they serve. And we were like, well, you can't collect them, but we can, and we can clean them because that's what we do, right? So it happened just sort of simultaneously that it worked, that we would, at the end of September, we would have a drive-through donation drive for Boyle Street Community Services that gave them all these socks, but we also collected toiletries, blankets, warm weather clothing, cold weather clothing. We did a drive-through and we put a theme on it, and it was touchless, right? So people could just drive through, drop off their donations, and we made it fun. We invited a classic car community. We had all of our volunteers dressed in Tyveks to look like race car crew, and so we put a theme to it, and that's become now an annual thing. So that we do it every year. So last year it was superhero theme. This year it's going to be sci-fi and Star Wars theme. So we've really involved, and we're not the only ones doing it. We brought in some of our vendor partners, our industry partners. They're also co-hosting with us at this drive-through donation drive. The city, they have three different news stations. They all come out and video the event. So we have a really good time with it. Yeah, it's fun.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. How do you kind of market it to the community? How does the community know about the drive ahead of time?
Well, actually, Boyle Street Community Services, they have a big following as well. So as a recipient of the goods, we are able to tap into some of their efforts as well. So it's not just all of us, because again, we started small too, right? So first year, we didn't have any marketing and communications people. Now we've got marketing and communications people to help us a little bit too. So, utilizing the recipients' resources a little bit and some of their email list and social media helped a lot.
Perfect. John, anything you want to follow up with?
Well, I just think it's really cool. You were sharing offline that so last year, obviously, Onside Laval just really mopped the floor with everybody. They beat the total number raised. They doubled the number from the first year we even had it, but they joined in 2021. They raised 36 pairs of socks. So, on the lower scale, but again, that's 36 pairs of socks that community didn't have. And then to come back in 2022 to raise 11,160 is bananas. So, I think they're going to have a challenge even beating themselves, right? But you mentioned your Red Deer office is a smaller office. When they came on, we were able to bring together 4,532 pairs of socks, as compared to like another office that's quite a bit bigger, Edmonton, at 4,520 socks. So not to diminish either, but it's just amazing, like you said, what a small group of committed people can do. And for both of them, like 4,500 pairs of socks, new socks. I want to make sure that anyone listening, we raise new socks, not used socks. Is just, very encouraging. I mean, again, this came from just thinking, hey, each of us will grab a couple extra pairs of socks. And here we have teams just raking in the socks, truckloads of socks.
Rivalry and competition. That's kind of really what you tap into, and we kind of dangle our own internal carrots too. So they can win, some cheesy trophies amongst all of our branches. And I believe we also gave them a barbecue lunch, or delivered pizza lunch or something of that sort if they would win. So we've kind of sweetened the pot a little bit. Yeah. But I think mostly it's not really needed. They just wanted to be able to say that they were the top of the sock heap. Yeah.
Top of the sock heap. Yep. That's, in Washington, that's, when we get together for lunch or industry events, it's, rubbing it in each other's faces who won the prior year. Has been a lot of fun. So yeah, that competitive component, I'm just really encouraged, like you said, that I think we've got a lot of businesses, especially in the age of acquisition, where you've got multi-site now. So I think businesses like Onside that are really trying to be intentional about keeping that, hey, we're still a family run business, regardless of, who we're now associated with, and trying to keep your team members engaged and connected with each other. And then, making a point that, we're still very much a part of our local communities is a really positive thing. So I'm just glad to hear, I believe, if I remember correctly, what you said is that SOCKTember, ergo the DOJO podcast, is responsible for the explosive growth of on-site restoration. Is that what you heard, Michelle?
I heard something maybe similar. Let's see if Lisa has a slight tweak to it, or if you get to own that for real.
No, we don't. No, she's said enough. She's good.
Enough.
Oh, yeah, that's it. It's exactly why, that competitive nature. We wanted those socks, but it didn't have anything to do with the starting of our national social committee. Nothing.
Yeah. I thought, you had some great ideas though, like the drive-through, fitness challenges, and then exactly what we thought, starting out, if we had a small competitive, a good-natured competitive component, it has a way of, giving people a little more oomph. I know a lot of people have raised many socks just saying they're trying to beat my team in particular. So that's been fun.
One of our values, our social values, has been generosity. So our ownership and executive have been encouraging us on the generosity, the teamwork. And so some of these initiatives definitely help with that value of our company and things that we want to give back to.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yes,
very cool.
It is. John, you want to go over dates for anybody who's listening and how to sign up, how to register, all of that? The base is restoringkindnessusa.com. So go there. That's the first place to go. But John, throw out some dates that are important.
So we just had just prior to recording this, we had our kickoff call to discuss SOCKTember 2023. We'd like team confirmations if you're planning to lead a team. Again, that just means you're saying, I'm going to kind of coordinate the efforts of multiple people under my umbrella to raise socks in our community, reach out to, vendors, subcontractors, reach out to, clients. It's a great way to market your services and do some team building. So we'd like to have people register through restoringkindnessusa.com by Tuesday, August 22nd. The competition officially kicks off Tuesday, August 29th, and then it officially ends on Tuesday, October 10th. You may notice a theme here with Tuesdays. That's our local group in Washington. When we get together, we always get together the second Tuesday of the month. So that's why we carry on the Tuesdays. So we'll do the final sock counts Tuesday, October 24th. Then the winner will be announced Tuesday, October 31st. So if you're up to the challenge of taking down Onside Laval, that's the prescription. But also, we have some really cool things happening. Lacey here in Washington, she's been a part of our team. She's part of the automotive trade, still part of the broader skilled trades. And they're branching off now. She's bringing other companies that are in her what is it called, networking group. So their plan is to be combined this year and then break off. So that brought in one of our goals is to have a team in every state. So they've got like Massachusetts, Atlanta, Illinois, I think Florida. So that's really exciting to see new teams and then teams sprouting new teams. So we shall see. But collectively, there's an international component. Canada's been kicking our butt. There's a state-by-state component. Laval just crushed it. Washington, obviously, historically has been, that's where it started. So we've been pretty stout. And then the team-by-team component. And there is a trophy for the winning team, as well as plaques for the top 5 teams. So
love it. Well, Lisa, congrats to your team and all the work that you're putting in. And I love the idea of the social committee that you have. I think that alone is something that hopefully other restoration companies can hear and run with, because I know a lot of companies deal with that change in the workforce tide after COVID and people being separate or more remote, or, John was talking about consolidation in the industry in general, especially that's happening in the US, and there being branches across the country. So that's what a great way to get everybody to compete together and have some friendly competition and rapport and all that. So congrats on winning. Sorry, but I hope someone in the US wins this year. Maybe it's going to be Team CNR. I'm going to try to work on that. We'll see.
We welcome it. We welcome anybody to beat any one of our individual branches. We'll take on that challenge for sure, because everybody wins that way.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Lisa, and to your whole team.
For more Restoration Today and the latest news, visit our website, cnrmagazine.com, and find the latest episodes of the Restoration Today podcast on your favorite podcasting platform.